Hello, and welcome to the God's Honest Truth. I am your host, Sean Milligan. Today, we will be going over chapter 6 of Genesis, which is the start of a very famous story, the story of Noah's Ark. Now, those who might know about Noah's Ark might be familiar with the fact that Noah built the ark because God wanted to wipe off um, all the human remains, but those who don't, well, that's alright. That's why I'm creating these videos, so that you can know more about the Bible and all those very fascinating stories. So that being said, let's get started on the story of Noah's Ark. Jumping in chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth of those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. Okay, so we can see here near the beginning, God has decided that his spirit can't be with them forever, so he decides to cut down the lifespan a little bit. We can see that they're giants, right? And it looks like, wickedness and evil was starting to really manifest in people's heart. Moving on to verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. There are generations of Noah. Noah was just a man and perfect in his generation, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh come before me, the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Okay, so like we can see here, it looks like a lot of violence is happening. People are fighting each other, killing each other, but not Noah. Noah followed God's command. He walked with God, and so God decided to spare him from this uncommon destruction. Moving on. And this fashion which thou shalt make it of the earth of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the beneath of it 50 cubits, and the height is 30 cubits. I'm sorry, I skipped the verse. Make the ark a gopher wood, room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within, and room without which pits. And a saddle shalt thou make the ark, and the cubit thou shalt finish it above, and the door of the ark thou shalt in the side thereof, with the second and third stories thou shalt make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, destroy all flesh. Within the life of breath, the mother of heaven and everything that is the earth shall die. But three will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come unto the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Of fowls of their kind, and cattle of their kind, every creeping thing, this kind, and two of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all blood that is eaten, and thou hast gathered it to thee, and it shall be food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded, so did he. Okay, so here we can see God gave Noah a plan. He gave him approved plans to build the ark and very specific instructions to gather all the two of each of every animal, 12 of his sons and their wives, and his own wife. Now, with that being said, let's do a very quick comparison to the New Living Translation, okay? When the human population began to grow rapidly on the earth, the sons of God saw the beautiful women of the human race and took any that they wanted as their wives. Oh, that's interesting. It says beautiful, whereas the previous one they were only fair. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not put up with humans for such a long time, that they are only mortal flesh. In the future, they will live no more than 120 years. In those days, even afterward, giants lived on the earth, for whenever the sons of God had intercourse with human women, they gave birth to children who became heroes mentioned in the legends of old. Now the Lord observed the extent of the people's wickedness, and he saw that all their thoughts were constantly and totally evil. So the Lord was sorry he had ever made them. It broke his heart. Oh, that's interesting. So in his version, it's saying that the Lord was sorry they ever made the creation and it broke his heart. And 6 did say that it grieved him at his heart, but it never didn't really say he was sorry that he ever made them. So that's interesting. That's a very interesting difference. Moving on. And the Lord said, I will completely wipe out the human race and that I have created. Yes, I will destroy all the animals and birds too. I am sorry I ever made them. But Noah found favor with the Lord. This is the history of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless man living on earth at the time. He constantly followed God's will and enjoyed a close relationship with him. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth had become corrupt in God's sight. It was filled with violence. God had observed all the corruption in the world, and he saw violence and depravity everywhere. So God said to Noah, I've decided to destroy all living creatures, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Yes, I will wipe them from the face of the earth. Make a boat from resinous wood and seal it with tar, inside and out. Ah, interesting. So here it says resinous wood, whereas this one says gopher wood. And instead of salt, it's tar. Good to know. Then the consult decks and stalls throughout its interior, making it 400 feet long, 70 feet wide, and 45 feet high. So that must be the comparison measurement instead of the cubits that we did earlier. Good to know. Construct an opening all the way around the boat. 18 inches below the roof, and put 3 decks inside the boat, bottom, middle, and upper, and put a door inside. Look, I am about to cover the earth with a flood that will destroy every living thing. Everything on the earth will die. But I solemnly swear to keep you safe in the boat, with your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring a pair of every kind of animal, male and female, into the boat with you to keep them alive during the flood. Pairs of each kind of bird and each kind of animal, large and small alike, will come with you to be kept alive. And remember, take enough food for your family and for all the animals. So Noah did everything exactly as God commanded them. Okay. Woo! Wow. Crazy, right? So, as we can see, God had enough of all the evil and violence that was going on, but Noah, being the good, righteous man that he was, managed to find favor with God because he was the only person at the time who was willing to follow God's will. And we see that because he was about to get started on the ark that God commanded him to make. Now, with that being said, next time we will jump into chapter 7 to continue the story of Noah's Ark. I'm Simon Milligan. This has been the God's Honest Truth. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.